Hey Gameheads, Papa is back and he brought some presents. I know how much you guys love offline games and who can blame you? I too sometimes feel like playing games without having to worry about strong connectivity. So without wasting any more time, here are some offline games to play in the month of May. Remember to subscribe to really get the channel going. And without further ado, let's go. Let's start off with a pretty strong entry, Way of the Hunter, Wild America. And like the name might suggest, it's a hunting simulator, and a really big one at that. You play as a hunter in the outbacks of Wild America, exploring the vast wilderness, tracking down prey, and getting that game. Armed with a variety of hunter gear, from rifles to hunting bows and everything in between, the game seems to emphasize on the being a hunter gimme, from the exploration, tracking, changing seasons, responsive wildlife, and lots more. It's obviously a lot, but for the right person, it's a solid gift. Way of the Hunter Wild America is on all mobile platform, and it's paid and also severely underrated. Let's continue with a nice looking zombie shooter with really flashy gunplay and auto fire. It kind of reminds me of a roguelike that I played a few years ago, and that game just vanished into thin air. Anyway, back to our game, Zombie Harbor, a casual first-person shooter where you blast enemies with a list of weapons, and with the auto fire mechanic, this one is just one of those games you just have to turn off your brain and let the dopamine flow. If you are looking for something casual, this one is free and available on only Android. Next up is a game so old I'm not even sure it will play on your device, but I just had to include it here because old games have to have some kind of shout back, don't they? I'm talking about Castle of Illusion. Yeah, that Castle of Illusion where you play as Disney's mascot, Mickey Mouse, as he explores a haunted mansion to save Minnie, kidnapped by a wicked witch, Miserable. It's a neat looking classic that has a lot of old school platform RPG elements, so if your device can still run it, the link is in the description. It's a paid game available on all mobile platforms. Let's continue with Hoopland, a pixel basketball game, kind of a homage to retro basketball games, games you find in the old Nokia button phones or Nintendo 3DS's. Basically, it's a pixel basketball game with everything you would expect from such a title. There is the normal mode, career mode, and even a manager mode. I'm no fan of the sport, but I can definitely say it's a good-looking, nostalgia-inspired basketball game that is on all mobile platforms and has a free demo. Let's look into quite another old gem. I've played this a while back, and while researching for an upcoming video, I stumbled across it. The name is Gladiator, where, as you might have guessed it, play as a gladiator in Rome. You rise through the ranks from small-time thug to mighty killing machine, all while held by your ever-increasing adoring fans. It's a good hack and slash game with cool combat, deadly brutal finishers, and executions that can be quite frankly satisfying. Like I said, this one is pretty old, so old that a quick search on Google doesn't yield a download link, but the link is in the description, and to my surprise, the once paid game is now free and it's on all mobile platforms. Lisa the Painful is next, and it's a weird one, but a loved one at that. A side-scrolling turn-based strategy RPG where you play the role of Brad Armstrong, a balding middle-aged man with a troubled past who journeys through the wasteland of Olathe in search of Buddy, his adoptive daughter. Along the way, you will be forced to make choices that permanently affect both your own well-being and that of your party members. The game is known for its dark comedic undertone and tough decisions that severely affect the whole game. So if you're into that kind of game, Lisa the Painful is on all mobile stores for a price. Next up is a delightful, surprising sequel to the game I have played before, a really interesting strategy game by the name King League 2. In the game, you are basically a manager of a group of fighters, training them, leveling them up, and making teams to fight on arenas. You can also recruit more fighters to join your club. Each fighter has different traits and tales that give them their uniqueness. Team composition is also a thing here, where different team members' traits can work well or against each other, leading to different team types for different arenas and challenges. All in all, it's a solid game from a solid publisher. So yeah, I say give it a try if you find it interesting. It's paid and on all mobile devices. Next up is Slaughter the Lost Outpost, and yes, I know it's a well-known third-person shooter, but I decided to include it because I don't remember talking about this one when it first launched, even though the Slaughter series is a massive series. You return as our hero Russell, who finds himself in the middle of a massive prison break, tasked with survival and looking for a means of escape. The game features a grand story with secrets about the place, allies that will aid you, good-looking graphics, gory intense combat, and more. You should know what is going on by the very nature of the name. Slaughter the Lost Outpost is available on all mobile fronts and it's paid. Revenant Soul is next, a good-looking hack and slash dungeon crawler roguelike. Diablo-like pretty much sums up the whole ordeal. You dive into randomly generated dungeons, defeating a nice list of enemies in a good selection of different biomes, getting stronger through upgrades, and if you die, you repeat. It's pretty much what you would expect from such a title, not that it's a bad thing. Revenant Soul is free and only on Android, but will be coming to iOS soon. Slime 3K Rise Against Despots is next, a great looking 1 vs all roguelike from the makers of the Despots game. And if you know any of their work, it's usually the embodiment of the phrase "stick it to the man." You know, works like Halo, Nebo, Despots game, and now Slime 3K. Now, more on this game. A blob of goo used to create artificial humans has become sentient and risen up against its creator, the Despot, an evil AI that unfortunately is the ruler of the world in the year 3000. In the words of the developer, we tried to blatantly clone games like Vampire Survivor, Howls of Torment, Potato, Soulstone Survival, and 20 Minutes Till Dawn, but our crazy experiment went too far. All in all, it's a great looking roguelike available on all app stores and it's paid. Let's round things up with a really cozy and atmospheric adventure title by the name Sunset Hill, a beautiful, melancholic, poignant story about Nico, an ex-soldier that goes on a journey of self-discovery across several cities 7 years after a major war. The game seems to tell a story through bits of lore gathered from each encounter as you meet up with old war-scarred bodies trying to walk their own path. The whole game really tries to paint a colorful yet somber picture reflected by its charming art style but soul-wrenching story of acceptance and possibly self-discovery. If you are into strong narrative adventure titles, Sunset City is looking pretty good and is on all mobile platforms and paid as well. And with that, we are done with today's list. Offline games are a bit difficult to find, so this list may not have been of high quality. I apologize for that, but if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It's your host P-Doc. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out though.